once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and I am excited once again. And fair enough, Arpol, thank you for looking out for me. A little disclaimer for those who might be new to this journey. You might get triggered. It's a possibility. So remember, choose love wisely, right? That's the message. Well, that's the message I want to share. Hey, today's Sunday Chats with Jack. The topic today, time and energy conservation. Something that I've picked up along my way, and I'm hoping it can be helpful. And I don't know, I think we can have fun again today. And I'll discuss some of the things we've experienced. But let's start in the start. In the background, the underlying message of today, a reminder for us all. Let's delight in the Lord. Let's delight in life. Let's delight in love, right? That's the best way to spend our time. And truly, the more time spent on blame is less time spent on improving and growing. And I tell you what, my past life, I say my past life like it was a different lifetime, but in this lifetime, right, in this body, man, I've played a lot of different roles. I've been through many different versions of me. And the past versions of me, they didn't understand these things. I spent a lot of unproductive time in unpleasant activities such as blame and regret, complaining. So just a friendly tip, and it really is a no-brainer when you stop and think about it. Sacrifice the time spent on unproductive and unpleasant activities. Why? To gain time for greater things. It's pretty obvious. And this observation is absolutely true. It's true for me. Becoming mindful of how you spend your time, it can transform how you choose to live because you're actually thinking about what you're doing. And so praise God indeed for the life we have been given, for this day that we have received. And I hope you've received a good day so far. I've had a beautiful day alone with me. And in my time alone with me, I invite God, right? Surrendering to the universe, to the energies of life and light and time. I'm feeling pretty at peace. And so actually, before I get going here, I do plan, I'll drop the link here pretty soon too. We'll open things up. Now, I've been saying in these live streams that there's going to be some changes, and I'm trying to work through my changes, that's for sure. But one of the things I hope to do is be more consistent, right? And for those who caught yesterday's live stream, I thought we had some great conversations, but I was short and some said rude to a man I respect. The machine lies. And in hindsight, maybe I did treat him a little bit unfairly. I hold him in high regard, and so, maybe I do have a little higher expectations for him. But names aside, one of the things I am intending to change on these live streams, and when I do drop the link and open the panel up, I want a lot less of this nonsense arguing and little egoic nonsense, because I care about my time. And when I'm sitting here being put in the background by co-panelists who want to argue against each other, the energy drops and my time feels wasted. So having that this is my purpose, right? My purpose is to be here, to share time, to share some encouragement, some inspiration. Hopefully, some of the ideas I've learned can be helpful. Um, so, time and energy conservation, that actually became one of my favorite things. I went through my day for a long time looking at everything I was doing. How can this be improved? How can this become more efficient? Is this a good use of my time, or should this be a choice and a step that's pushed away? Going through your day with a mindful, right? Being aware and purposeful with your mind. Your mind is full of intentions, full of awareness, not full of memories and imaginations, but you're fully present. And when you go through your day fully present with a mind full of optimism, of purpose, intentions, you would, I don't know your experience, I know mine. I was amazed at the number of things I found that I wasn't really paying attention to, that I picked up these ideas and personalities of me, these habits of me that weren't really me. They were just habits I picked up along my way. The most obvious one for me was my drinking, right? But it wasn't until actually I stopped drinking that my mind opened to the idea of improving. How glorious and simple. But some of the questions that are helpful for myself in trying to evaluate my time and my energy. Well, and here, let's back up. Why is it important to give attention to our time and our energy? I mean, it sounds like a stupid question because the answer should be so obvious, but many people don't actually evaluate themselves honestly. How am I spending my time? How am I spending my energy? I mean, in this world of today, I talked about it recently, but it's pretty common knowledge. Time is money, right? Money equals time. You got more money, you can hire someone to do the things you don't want to do, and then you bought yourself more time to do the things you want to do. And if you want to succeed, well, that's the way to do it. But this is also why in our society, wealth builds on wealth, poverty builds on poverty. It's just the natural order of life. But back to the point, what is life? Life is but an experience through time. Each of us has the same number of minutes every day, same number of minutes as anyone else in this world, right? So that's where the equality is, I guess. We all have the same number of minutes, but what's available in those minutes? That's where the variables come in, right? Um, we don't. I lost my thought. You know what? You guys in the chat, I love you guys sincerely. Old Joe, that is a good question. I wonder myself often, how will things go today? And please, thank you. Jack is Jack. Love him or miss out. Your call. And that is kind of the truth, right? I mentioned this yesterday. I'm not for everyone. I'm really not. I've accepted that. There's people that just do not get me, and they will not get me until they try. But once you try to understand someone, you can. Back to a couple of points here. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and StreamYard has been doing some changes. I'm not quite enjoying their formats, but I am going to go ahead. We'll drop the link. Plan on seeing what the day brings, honestly. Blessings to all of you. What life? I do get myself, man. I do. And this is something actually I felt like I should probably try and get into a little bit after yesterday. Because yesterday with Taco, I tried explaining me again. I was asked, who's Jack Talcott? And I offered forth in some of the discussions the similarities I found between me and Jesus. Now, this is where I could have explained it better yesterday, right? Because my path was what it was, and I didn't know out in the world what I didn't know. And so first I started seeing signs of similarities between me and Jesus in my own personal story and in the story that's recorded of him. Now, it's not enough to be, oh man, it's me. No, it's just vague and it's kind of a, if you connect the dots, you can see it. But more importantly, what that did for me, by my own individual confirmation of my story, seeing the similarities to his story, it made me feel like, okay, maybe I am more like him. That was new to me, right? Because all my life I thought I was nothing like Jesus, like many people do. You know, they want to believe that there's nothing, no comparison, right? Partial truths create total confusion. I've said that a bunch, but I know for a fact I'm just like you. I am just like every other Sally or Joe who's alive or who has ever been. I don't place myself above or below anyone else anymore. So I see us all as the same. And so seeing that and then seeing my similarities to Jesus as well, that kind of connected the dots, is that the words he spoke, they're intended for you, right? Those are our words, our story that we have the opportunity to choose. Now, I'm not talking about choosing to be hung on a cross and all and be glorified and worshiped. No, that's not what I'm talking about. But what I am talking about is incorporating the lessons that he taught and he walked. We've got a guest here, and I know it can go either way. I'm going to hope for the best and hope I do my best. And welcome back, Umatami.
Let's bring Joe up to counter your bullshit when you take me.
What's
I'm tired
that?
of not having a single advocate up here. You get advocates that come up on my panel. I'm tired of not having a single advocate up here as you tyrannize me and atheists call you their best Christian buddy. A long time ago, you got mad at me when I said we have the equality of opportunity, not the equality of outcome. And you just Talcotted your own words into agreeing with it because you're not really doing a thing. You just think without learning, and that means you're in danger.
Hey, Tommy, can we try a different approach today?
And yesterday, I didn't point out that Machine
That's
Lies
enough.
neglected to calculate that Tacos and Taco Crew, they're your new friends, and you always take precedence to your new friends over your old friends. And your old friends just become these characters that are following you around that you gotta shake off. And these numbnuts, and Steven and Banana and Bolly Boy and Tommy.
Mm-hmm. So
You
is
did
that
it.
a no?
You did it with the Asian guy. Is the Asian guy around anymore? The Asian
I asked.
intergalactic Star Federation guy.
No, he didn't get me either. I asked you a question.
Is Aaron Gauchi around anymore?
Nope.
Is the preacher lady from the Hawaii Blunt Jam Band Church around?
Nope. I offended her too. So I'm not sure where you're going with it though, Tom.
That's the thing. Like people make points to you, and it's like really nail in the coffin stuff sometimes, and you just move on. And that's why I don't think there's really any hope for you.
Well,
Like sure, you just go get a job and do like a routine task and
mhm.
maybe find some stupid woman that would let you kiss her once in a while. But
Hey,
Jack,
please
you
pause.
don't have a substance
Please
of
pause,
greater
please.
things.
I
You're
do
not like
actually.
Jesus.
and I was asking you, can we try something different today? Let me
I do
hit this
something different
comment.
every.
Ryan Johnson, if you are like Jesus, prepare to get crucified. Yes. And it's actually warned, it's even pointed out in the wisdom in the scriptures.
Why do you think you're like Jesus?
There's many reasons, but
Right.
mostly here the number one reason I think I'm like Jesus is my love of God.
Oh, Jack.
I'm pretty open.
Joe. I think Joe would facilitate a pretty good conversation with it. Let's let Joe run the conversation so that you and I can't battle for the conversation.
It's welcome, but here's something. Tommy, can you be open to having your mind changed? Is that a possibility?
Jack,
I know that's what you want from me.
No, can you be open to just the actual things that are said in a conversation and not just kicking me and making your own narrative up?
Yes, I am capable. And so, all right. So while we're here, we're doing good.
Whenever you talk about your time being so valuable and you keep me in the back, not even to keep from wrecking you, but just to keep me out of the conversation that I can contribute to, because you're not going to do it.
Your mic is breaking. Okay, your audio. And Tom, do you remember my explanations for putting you in the back?
Yeah, they're all trumped up bullshit. We can go back and reference that they weren't happening. The same way that when you keep me back there, and then you start bringing other random people up to show me you're not going to bring me up there to have the conversation. How many times do I have to tell you this this denomination concept before it sticks in your head and you can say, tacos, the denominations aren't disagreeing and fighting with each other. That's not what's happening.
Tom, you're making arguments and you're having a conversation with yourself, and I'm not really.
No, I'm asking you a question. How many times do I have to tell you that and the things you say that aren't what Jesus said? Like, how can you be like Jesus when I showed you all the things that you say that you shouldn't say as a Jesus person?
Here, tell you what. Hold on just a moment for me.
Move on. Sure.
What's that? Yeah. I am. Hey, welcome.
Hey, Tom. I'm here to judge, Jack. I heard that you needed a judge, and
all right.
I happen to be on a break in my main courtroom, 666 District Slave Court. So I figured I'd put in some part-time community service here. Voluntary, of course.
Appreciate that. Thank you. So, Tom, now we have another party here. So what can we resolve?
With you, probably nothing.
But what could we? If we could resolve something between you and I, what might that be?
That you just, I don't know. We'll let Paul run it.
And Tom, you're being negative right off the bat. This isn't about me. This isn't about the past. We're in the now. Yeah. You have some issue with Mr. Talcott, it seems. Can we lay that out succinctly and see if we can find some resolve with that?
I think Jack's the one that takes issue with me, because if anybody does what Jack does that I'm around every day, I'd have to say the same things to them.
Now, do you believe Jack when he pretty much says, like I've said in the past on my broadcast, but this isn't about me. I want to keep it away from me. The point is do you believe him when he says that he has something he wants to do here, even if he doesn't know what it is in the moment? He knows what it's not. And what it's not, seemingly, is arguing with Paul, Tommy, Snafu, Margot.
I haven't.
You could go on.
Guys, what I come up and talk to Jack about is the things he's talking about, and he has a problem with being corrected. The only thing I really correct him on is...
as a supposed friend, because I've heard you say you're Jack's friend in the past, and he calls you the same thing. I don't. I say I'm barely even able to keep up friendships in the real world. It's not working online, especially. But if he's a friend of yours and he has boundaries, and one of his boundaries is, hey, I'm going to do my crazy love Christian rap and believe what I believe, and it's not going to be the same as you, but I don't want to fight and argue day in and day out or be like proselytized to, right? Preached to and critiqued and criticized. Because at the end of the day, oddly enough, you would think a Christian who is faithful in God would say, it doesn't matter what I even believe. If Jack's doing some stupid shit or fucked up shit, God's going to handle it, right? Isn't that what true faith in God would be rather than faith in our own will?
I wouldn't have a problem with Jack just believing in whatever he wants to believe, but he's teaching these falsities to more people, more friends, more people that I know, and I want them to know the truth. So, I mean, think about, I don't know, something you do, like baseball. Like, Jack can't just go on a baseball field with a football and his soccer uniform and
no, but he can. Like, why can't he? See, right away, it starts off with what can't be done, and it's your boundaries. Jack is totally free to go on the baseball field with a football and start a whole new game.
But he can't play baseball that way, so he can't call himself a baseball player.
Okay, I see what you're doing. Jack, do you want to respond to any of this? I see what he's doing, but again, this is like it's a false presumption from the get-go, because if you're claiming he's claiming to be a Christian and that's your beef with him, then you got beef with like 10,000 sects of Christianity because they're not all the same and don't all believe the same thing.
Don't narrative for me. My problem is his direct contradiction of saying this is the Jesus way, this is the words of Jesus, this doesn't contradict the Bible, and usually it does.
What if he said this is what he believes is the Jesus way? If he just gave a caveat every time he gave his perspective, which I try to do now to avoid this as well, I say this is my perspective, this is what I believe, so we can avoid this idea of Jack's the head of the Catholic Christian Church and he's therefore dispensing like the papal bull that we all have to then follow along with, right?
Let him go be Catholic. I don't think they're doing it right.
Yeah, but you're not answering the right question. Would it put you more at ease if Jack just gave a caveat every time he gave his perspective and said, from my perspective, this is what I see, and be free to be let alone to be as crazy as he is, just like as crazy as I am?
I've always told him what he could do, which is stop saying he's a Christian. And even now, he just fluctuates between the separation context and the claim context. Don't shake your head no. You'll say,
right, Jack, he's laying out an option for you. You could just say you're not a Christian anymore and convert to being a Muslim if you like.
It makes him not wrong. See, that you guys think it's about me. But it's like, you guys don't realize the largest sect of Christianity is in agreement on the foundation and the things that Jack contradicts. It's not all these denominations battling. Hey, I'm hearing you out. Hear me out, Jack. We've looped this like a million times.
All right, yeah, let him finish, Jack, and then you respond. Because you know what he's going to do. He's going to accuse you of taking control over him and being everything that you accuse him of. Egotistical and controlling and prideful.
Okay, why not say he's Muslim? Why doesn't he say he's Muslim?
Is this a time for me to speak?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay. Tom, there's something you're missing, because you said something, it's not about you, but Tom, I'm not as much promoting a religion as I'm trying to explain my experience. Okay? And my experience has been confirmed.
Let him finish, Tom. Tom, let him finish, because then he's going to put you out and you're going to say he's mod godding.
Well, I'll just remind him of why he interrupted Joe Cool. and why he got mad at Machine Lies for laughing.
Tom, you're not getting any points there. I believe everyone should interrupt Joe Cool. Go ahead. Be done more often.
Tom, damn it, I lost one. Sorry. My point is when I went to the Bible, the words explained what I was knowing, what I was learning, what I was experiencing.
Jack, you haven't read the Bible. You don't know literally anything about it.
Hello.
You think that Jesus opposed animal sacrifice?
Yes.
Jesus was a Jewish priest.
But Tom, there you go.
Oh, you
Like
think
just by doing that right now, you're taking yourself as the authority and the only person who can interpret accurately. When literally we're
No, I'm
living the
not.
same dynamic right now, where you're saying to Jack he can't do what he's doing, which is the same thing they said to Jesus, which is the same thing you had the beef with me, right? It's a similar idea. And then
No.
2,000 years from now, they'll say,
It's wrong. You're not being a
Paul
judge.
enslaved
You're
was
wrong.
a sovereign citizen terrorist. He couldn't. The point is you're letting the narrative affect the interpretation, and that's precisely the problem. You don't get to speak objectively about what it is, then tell Jack he can't because he's wrong and you're right. Maybe everyone's wrong because we're all interpreting and we're all fallible.
Well, Tom,
It's a thing.
Tom,
Like
please.
he sat there with me on panel 3 years ago saying, I'm looking for people that know
Jack.
the Bible.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the time to go to God.
Right.
If you are a
See, I
Christian,
mean,
this is the time.
Thank you, Paul. Great reminder. Thank you.
But it is
Hey,
another chance for
Tom.
Jack to enable one of his greatest assaulters.
Tom, I asked you, and I didn't get an answer, but I did ask if we could try
Yeah,
something
you
different.
haven't answered a million
We
things I've
are-
said to you.
We are doing something different, but I want to throw a new twist in. Can you please try to consider what Paul says before you just argue?
No, I haven't. No,
No,
because when
you
I
can't.
reply, you call that an argument. See, you're already setting the narrative. You're weak. You're stupid. Like, I'm sick of this shit. You're the one that can't
Wait, are
sit
you
down and
calling
have.
him weak and stupid? Are you calling him weak and stupid? Or are you saying he's saying that?
I'm
Thank
saying Jack is weak and stupid.
Okay, so obviously you're not really interested once again in having a back and forth and conveying your perspectives and then resolving that you may not agree,
have I
but it
had-
doesn't have to be a simulation of war and competition constantly.
Yeah.
When have I had fourth? You guys stopped me on every reply. I knew you wouldn't be able to do this.
Tom,
because you
you've done
came
the
up here-
majority of the talking so far.
No,
Yeah.
I
You've
haven't.
done the majority of the
Yes.
talking.
Yes.
No,
Tom.
you have.
Well, Tom.
Go back
that's-
and watch.
Oh my God. Okay, Tom, is there anything that you don't disagree with me about?
Yeah, I think you kiss dudes.
Well, we disagree there, so I'm not sure why you would choose to go there.
You shared a bed with a man. You say Brian's a beautiful man. He's hiding space. Whatever else I put in gay caught. Don't you like to have fun, Jack? See, this is the same old song and dance. I haven't got a complete response out, and you guys are already getting flustered. I'm getting about tired of you, Tom, because you're all
Oh.
deflection. You're alliteration. You
We
don't need to
have-
worry about your house's inspection.
We have, you know what? I'm going to celebrate and rejoice. This panel, this stream is welcome, Dusty. The true stars, man. There's got to
No,
be
you
a
guys
way.
are all punching down. I don't even have 200 subs. You're all a bunch of down punchers.
Actually, what if we treated this as like an intervention? Not punching down on Tom, but reaching out.
No, Jack. No, because we already should know how that's going to go, right? I'm not going to come in and now do the group dynamic thing, and that's going to come off as disingenuous, right? Because we all have our own issues or bone to pick with each other, and we're not going to group up selectively to go after one being
Fair
who
enough.
is presenting the most quote unquote noise right now.
Fair enough.
Right, but Jack spent a number of days and they
because you know how that will be received. The same way it'd be received if I came up here and I had a resistant energy with you about something you said, and you went, "Hey, Tom and Dusty, let's do an intervention on Fat Paulie." And I go, really? We're really going to do this right now? It's very condescending and disingenuous on some level.
Fair enough.
Wouldn't you want to know what
you get what I'm saying? I get your intent, but you know where that's going to go.
We never get to what.
Tom, do you deny you're bringing a combative or resistant, like overwhelming energy the majority of the time to these interactions?
Thank you.
Yeah, I do deny that.
I love the voice too. As long as you do it with that voice, it sells it, right? It totally translates. Okay.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
so people think he's normal. Oh, and then he's going to use his calm voice so people think he's normal.
I don't know what that means. Tom's citing some lore that we lost track of.
Happy to be dead.
You what? Tom, tell you what, is there any positive conversations we can have with you? Like,
You see, you're putting that on me, like it's
well,
my problem.
actually, and that was a
Because
poor
all
question.
I hear from you, Zach, what I hear out of you is a whole lot of complaints, brother. And I think somebody said your complaints are your problem.
They are. And do you not see your own patterns?
I know exactly what I'm saying, and I know exactly what you're not getting.
Wait a minute, because Paul just asked, and I thought that was a great question. Your awareness. You are aware that you're bringing a combative energy pretty much everywhere you go.
Or challenging.
not.
That's a better word. Challenging. We don't want to invoke violence or force.
Right. Thank you.
Listen, people like Jack, Dusty, you can pinpoint the moment they've decided they're going to start saying backhanded stuff. Just like Ducky yesterday, even though Machine Lies kind of lost his shit over the word gotcha, I was watching Ducky take little jabs every chance he got. Because there is a nuance to this panelverse dialogue.
Tom, nobody's doing that right now as far as I'm seeing. I think that you're projecting a little bit of that.
That's why I'm denying that I bring in unneeded hostility. I bring it when it's needed.
It's not hostility. It's challenge, right? It's either challenge or competition. The majority of your interactions are based on challenge or competition. Yes. It's never an interaction from a space of you're talking over me. You're doing it now.
No, if Jack wants to know the biblical Christianity better, I help him when he's wrong. I
don't believe he's asking you for that. I've never once, oddly enough, heard him go, "Oh man, I wish Tommy was around to give me his dispensation of Christianity. It might get me to the next level here."
Not once.
He's made many open requests to the panelverse, and that was one of them. And I have yet no ego. There's not a lot of people out here biblicling like me.
Tommy,
maybe it's because I was a Christian.
Why, Tommy? What qualifications should I be considering that makes Tommy the one I want to learn about the Bible from? What makes you?
All the times I've shown you the answers.
Trigger discipline.
No, your behavior shows me that I don't want to learn from you.
Behavior? We're just talking. What's wrong with my behavior? Your behavior shows me I don't even want to fucking not fight you.
Well, right now it's being...
You waste my time. You set false narratives about me.
You literally asking questions, and when he goes to answer, and he's doing it to a lesser degree, but you're like... You're on it, right? You got something to prove. You got something that has to connect. And if it doesn't, then everyone else is stupid and you're in the know.
We should have brought... I didn't say everyone else is stupid. I think
what's the most fascinating about this is I'm like the perfect person you should be able to listen to because I do a lot of the same things you do at times or have.
What if we all
knowingly?
Only in the function. We don't share the same logic or beliefs. Maybe in the law.
And of course, in every interaction, yours is the superior logic and belief, right? In every interaction. There is no...
See, that's narrative. Only when it's proven to be so.
The point is, if we were to put on an objective set of scale, right? And we've gone here in the past, but you have this objective scale for Jack, and you'll put him on the scale. But you won't step on the scale as well and then repeat the reading.
I do.
But see, this is what's so funny. You do, but it's from a distorted perspective or a perspective that's improven. So it's not believed by others. No, that's not a projection.
I've proven anything I've had to prove. I've built credibility out here.
That's not your call to make.
Right. You can't. Every one of us here would go, "Hey, we're the most credible. We're the most."
Tom,
why were people coming to me saying, "Tom, mediate this. Tom, we need the fairest panel for this"?
So your metric for how credible you are is someone came to you in a universe of insane, needy, codependent people and addicts. Someone came to you, so now you're credible.
I'm credible because I work at it. I work at it all my life. I was all the things I've ever
Working at
said I am.
something is not
You're
an
the one that
objective
denied
metric
this.
for being credible. Even what you're saying right now is exposing your fragile foundationless position because your examples do not
You're
wash.
playing your narrative game. No, let me
Tom,
talk.
You have
You're
no
right.
objective
Jack,
metric that you can point to.
Reply.
You have
Let
no
me
objective.
reply.
please let him reply.
You're right.
But,
Jack has worked at his thing for 3 years, and it doesn't mean he's doing anything. I was raised by two good parents. I've always tried to be a good person. Be stand
Subjective
up. What are you
perspective,
talking about,
subjective perspective, subjective perspective, all the way down the
So
line. And of
is
course, your
So is
subjective
your
perspective
stupid
is
critique of me.
we both can't talk at the same time. So let's try
Yes,
our
but
best.
what you're saying about me is equally as subjective as me speaking for myself. So what do you want to
Can
do,
you
fat
please-
boy?
Can you please just pause? Okay? Pause. Tom,
Why? So we sit here?
holy cows. No, because
Okay,
you're
and
getting,
then you're just going through your loop. You're just going
If
through your
you-
loop, Jack.
if you don't listen, you'll never learn. Okay? Tommy,
Jack, you're the one that can't keep up, and I hold it against.
Tommy,
You didn't have to dunk him that fast.
I know I didn't, but to be honest, I need a break from him. Just for a minute. Okay? Just to get my energies reset, I need to
You do kind of have that exhausted single mother vibe going on right now.
well, I want to thank, right? Paul is actually
No, I get it, Jack. It's a great
asset.
simulation because this is a place where you're supposed to be the most in control, if not of yourself, what's going on, and the direction of the broadcast, good, bad, or indifferent. So it can become a bit overwhelming to go, I'm in a host position, but I also have to let go and surrender. And, you got to become philosophical about it, right? We've done 1,000 of these. It's probably not going to end your world today, no matter how it goes, which is rather freeing and liberating. You could probably pull your dick out today, show up tomorrow, and we're still going to be here, right? It's like, it's still going to be here to some extent, and we're going to do whatever we're going to do.
Yeah, I agree. However, there's also an underlying real possibility here. I don't know exactly how to accomplish it, but this
You
is
can't
the right
accomplish it,
path.
Jack. This is what I think is a lesson for you. Is I applaud you for your willingness to want to make change or be a part of change. But as we know, you can't be a part of a change that doesn't want to happen or doesn't believe it has to happen on another side, right? Tommy's not expressing the need or the will to change. So you attempting to be a part of something he's not seeing he need. You're talking over me. We can't have this interaction if you're going to keep talking over everyone because you're the most insightful, intelligent, entertaining person in the room with no viewers and no money. Okay, let's just get right down to that. See how that can shut everyone up as an objective standard, but nobody wants to go to that.
You sat on my panel when I said I don't care about that shit. I'm just here doing my social media.
The reality of it is, I didn't want to get like, this isn't really me getting personal. It's me getting like more real. The reality is anything you accuse Jack of, you're guilty of, and maybe more. So you have no right to speak on these things.
What I'm asking you, Dusty, is how can you have sat through this guy for 3 years, stood against his bullshit yourself, and have the nerve to sit here and back his bullshit?
We're not.
That's going nowhere.
You're deflecting now. Now you're trying to pick a fight with the other person on panel indirectly because you can't substantiate what I just said.
You guys chose to just ignore that Jack is the way he is, and you're just
we can meet in the same place and advocate for truth and not be defending any individual person. Go ahead, Taylor.
I accommodate a lot of people's bullshit as they accommodate mine because not every single transgression needs to be addressed all the time.
That is true.
Right.
It's
but
called
whenever
pick
I
your
feel
battles.
to address one, I'm going. I do. That's why I let you come up on my panel twice.
No,
and
Tom. No, Tom. Well, yeah, that might be true. There's a selective point in time where you have and I'm not saying I haven't had the same experience. There's a selective point in time where you have breakthroughs, but 90% of the time, 90% of your interactions and content are based on controversy, chaos, testing, challenging. And, there's a place for that on YouTube, but you can't even let one person here put forward their perspective of how they experience you without you shutting down and talking over it.
That's all you do is try to set a narrative. It doesn't matter
what you believe it is. You get your time to respond. If you can't, Tom, this is why you have your own channel as well. The only problem is nobody goes there and watches and listens most of the time, so you feel unfulfilled about your expression.
Bullshit. I can't believe you're wasting our time with this season 1 bullshit, Paul.
Well,
Hey,
there hasn't been much change with most people since season 1. As a matter of fact, I could argue folks have gotten worse in certain ways.
Yeah, you've stayed the same. Some have gotten worse.
Tom, please pause. Let's put a pause in this just for a moment.
You think I haven't changed? You think I haven't changed?
Hey, Tom, if you can't stop interrupting me.
What did I
Holy
do?
crap. He just can't stop. That lack of self-control. Hey, Tommy, Paul was right. You're showing no willingness, no desire whatsoever to change. But here's the fact. If you do not change, Tom, you will never be brought back up here again. This is your chance. You either clean up your behavior and stop throwing tantrums and interrupting everybody, have a conversation like an adult, or you can leave, Tom.
Take a look at your fucking self, maggots.
Good enough.
This is so silly. It's so silly, man. You've literally done this 1,000 times. You'll come here, try to force your view and narrative, say everyone else's experience of you is a view and narrative. When you're asked to conform with what the host wants done here, good, bad, or indifferent, we don't have to agree with it, then you run and act like you're going to stay gone. Then you're going to call everyone else the narcissist. You're doing the narking behavior because you're not going to stay gone from here. You will come back. I will bet anything. Anyone want to take this bet right now? No one's going to take it. Does anyone want to pony up and put a bet right now that if I give a 6 month, which will be like insane amount of time, 6 days,
yeah, maybe.
6 minutes, we'll do the 666 theme, right?
Bro, he's going to stream about us tonight, and then tomorrow he'll be back over here at the Crack of Open.
It's so silly, Tom, because if you understand your enemy is not your enemy, it will cease to be your enemy. You literally need everyone here because without that, you have little to nothing to focus on and talk about. Your broadcast is evidence of that.
The main thing I was trying to get him to recognize his patterns. He comes in challenging and trying to control every panel. And what he's overlooking is any attempts to cooperate. I mean, that's all I ask. Just kind of cooperate. Try to pretend you're cooperating with me, Tommy. It's out of his wheelhouse. But hey, we've got a couple more guests that have been in the back, and I don't know.
This is the other side of it too, Jack, because I'm not going to do the thing everyone does here that because they're here and they know you're touchy at times that they're going to like kiss up to you. And I have to hope you're going to respect that, right? Whether you like what I'm going to say or not. You also can't kind of play this game of, hey, I'm loving, it's a new day, I'm starting over. Tom, what do you have? Right? It's a total open door to fucking chaos and the game. And on some level, then everyone gets the idea, you know what? Jack's full of shit too. Because he doesn't really want to do love and live without fear and talk about God and he wants to argue with Tommy and the other reprobates for hours on end to fill time and to have something compelling for the people to watch, right? That's just, I'm just being straightforward with you. That's what the audience is going to start to believe and see. And if you're wondering, that's why I kind of told everyone, take a hike out of my area. It's not because I don't like them at certain times or get entertainment out of it. It just becomes a crazy, maddening loop. And I have my own crazy, maddening loop with sovereign citizenry. I don't need Tommy's and everyone else's, oddly enough.
No, I agree. I agree completely. And that has been shown. And seriously, I accept. How big of a fool am I, to keep doing this? Now, in my defense, though, I know I don't control him. I know that by offering him a chance, he fails, right? He has the chance to cooperate. He has a chance to change and to actually show some efforts. But it is at this point, though, Paul, where I've been shooting myself in the foot. Hell, shooting myself in the head, entertaining this craziness.
And I'm gonna commend you, Jack. Not like I'm in a position of authority. If it is, it's kind of like a game we're simulating here, even in my area, right? I'm the god of all media, whatever. Honorable Judge and Slavius from the trailer, but I'm going to commend you for practicing some level of faith and surrender here today, good faith and surrender for the courting process. And, essentially handing some level of control over to me, someone who at times you, for good reason, probably don't like or don't respect, so it shows that on some level, even if it's just playing along, you're willing to have the back and forth and potentially let it go somewhere new rather than the same old that's gone nowhere and hasn't really been beneficial to anyone.
No. Well,
Been beneficial to me.
Well, and I found benefit because honestly, reviewing my reactions, I got to see that I had a lot of work to do, and I still have work to do. So, Paul, thank you for recognizing today. I think I did do a little bit better. I didn't. You helped me though too. You offered some friendly reminders that helped keep me present. And as far as Tommy, he chose to leave. I didn't kick him. But we've got Steven and Snafu in the back.
Head motherfucker in charge, Steve? Or King Steve? I saw HDMI head motherfucker down there.
Yeah, no, it's the other one. Steven and Snafu. Welcome.
Greetings, Matthew.
Greetings, Mr. Data, Mr. Dusty, Mr. Talcott.
Hey,
What is this? It's creeping me out.
I didn't ask, but let's keep it with the positive energy. Blessings to you. I appreciate that.
It's all love, Jack.
Hello. I
Steven?
feel so much better looking now. This is amazing. Thanks for bringing me on. Thanks for bringing me on. This is good.
Absolutely. In the comparison, sometimes it helps. Hey, actually, I was going to get it back to the topic today: time and energy conservation. This was, in my opinion, I hope it was well spent.
How is this panel still stable? That's amazing.
Snafu, you're clicking, man.
Oh, shit, my bad.
It's a massive upgrade from.
It's remarkable how these things work, how things come together. But I know I say a lot of crazy things, and I trigger egos. And my ego gets triggered too sometimes, but I've been working through those. And what I've been finding, this idea came to me earlier, and it is tied to being more intentional, more purposeful with our time. As we are more intentional, more purposeful, watching the patterns of our lives and watching what we're living, we find that through the patterns, we find the order. Through the order, that calms our mind. Now, the downside to the calming of the mind from the order is we go to sleep. We develop these habits and we stop thinking. But for those who have chaotic energies within, what I found, if you can imagine the concept in a pattern of uncertainty, try to focus on the certain. Focus on the parts that you can see to see if there is an order. And if you can find the order, even if it's not the direction or the outcome you want, if you at least know the order and know what's going on, then you got a shot.
Did you
That's
see
quite
Breakfast
something.
Taco's comment?
Who's that?
Breakfast Tacos has an interesting comment.
I think Tommy might be for you, not in a bad way.
I said that before. I actually, that's part of my theory. I think he might be
I
gay
think
for
we all
Jack.
said that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Was that cage that you had up earlier with the gas station sunglasses and the Timu ring?
It
Was
was.
that him?
Yes.
Okay. Is he mongoloid or what's wrong with him? He has some issues.
A lot of
See,
things.
now my question for you in this moment, Jack, and it's interesting, it's coming from me, right? I'll play the bad guy / good guy with the truth.
Okay.
Why
Yeah.
would you entertain calling Tommy gay and then letting Steven go off on how everyone else is this, that, and the third,
I'm the
knowing
best
what
guest
energy
ever. I'm
that's going to
making the
continue
show, Paul.
to please don't talk over me.
Good point.
Oh, I'm
knowing
sorry.
what
Were you
knowing
talking?
what energy that's probably going to continue to, conjure here for the
You're
future,
right.
right? So
Gonna pull
he's
up.
going to say, "Oh, you
Jack, I'm
kicked
just
me
trying to
off. You
bring
didn't let me
good
have a
energy.
fun." Excuse me, sir. I know
Right.
that you're recoiling from this idea of like some level of love and light, like Jack talks about. It makes you recoil, right?
Well,
But I'm
clutch.
pointing it out because that's his mission. That's his words. And I'm wondering what the uh, co-creative value for him with his mission and his words would be about allowing you and the others on panel who literally only have a place in your areas for drama and chaos and fighting and arguing and name calling and all the rest of the things Jack says he doesn't want. So by bringing you all in
No.
here and then allowing you space on the panel to engage in that, the people watching and listening are now going to feel attacked and they're going to continue their metaversal jihad, right? They're going to
I
continue their
disagree.
trauma-based
Nice
cycle.
dinner is just like a
Already.
monologue all day.
Hey, Stephen. First of all, watch your interruptions. Okay. Second off, I think Paul was right.
Well, he is your daddy after all.
Regardless of your opinion of a monologue, why don't
That's
you
what it
think
was.
about what you're doing, dude?
I am thinking about what I'm doing. I don't recoil to love and light, and I'm bringing some laugh.
Yeah, I'll laugh when you leave, Stephen. See, that's how much you mean to me. You and your little bullshit co-host stuff. Yeah, no, Stephen. Sorry, that's not love and light, is it, though? Right?
Well, gentlemen, I must say today was enlightening. Jack dusted one. Mr. Dada, Paul, you guys have a good one. I'll see you till the next time.
What the fuck is going
Thank
on?
you, Matthew.
Peace and blessings. Holy cows, man. I'm almost thinking maybe I should wrap this up before I screw it up. Today's been a pretty good stream.
I don't know. Something's creepy.
Well, you know what? We're living through this crazy time in Earth, and there's some crazy people around us, but it really doesn't have to be as frantic or as chaotic as we create it to be. And I don't know that I've ever been as wound up as someone like Tommy. I've never been like that, but
You know what's interesting? I just realized about you, Jack, and I have, again, we know I have my own critiques and whatever else, but I do seem to genuinely believe this in the moment that, like myself, you almost take setting boundaries with other people for your own good and your own mission as some kind of knock on you, right? Like something about your upbringing believes that you have to serve and you have to be there for the change and that you're not good enough with who you are and what you're doing. And that leaves you open for all this crap over and over again. Because when you set boundaries and say, no, I'm not going to tolerate that. I don't want that for me in the audience and what I'm doing. You immediately go, oh, but that's not love and light. How is it not? How is it not love and light for you and for your mission in the audience in the future for you to set boundaries on people who regularly show they don't want to be a part of what you're doing?
thank you. No, I can't deny that. That's honest feedback, and you're absolutely right. And there is something, I recognized it in myself too. It's a sickness. I was I was a people pleaser for many years, and it's a pattern I've been trying to break. And I assume there may still be some lingering. Although the other side of it though too is I've gone so far the other direction now that, well, my recent deliberation in my own personal development, I'm wondering, do I need to be more like Jesus and stop defending?
You're too old at this point. You'd be dead by now.
Well, my attacks are just verbal. I mean, it's really nonsense and nonsensical. So there really shouldn't be any reason for me to drop my energies down and get engaged,
I mean, if you read the red letter verses of the Bible, Jesus is kind of a dick. He's
Mhm.
not, he's
I
not
agree
the
with that.
box.
Yeah.
Jesus is actually, an activist or an outlaw of his time, right? If you really look at what the story was and what it resulted in,
Yes.
he's a lot like some of the people here. in their own ways. You know,
I agree. And this is where I don't know what people think or what regarding Jesus, but I think with the Christian teachings, it taught people to be sheep, to be lambs, right? And to go and obey. Well, if you're going to follow Jesus, that man was a stud. He was a
That sounded weird.
badass.
It just rolled off the tongue weird.
Well, he was a badass, right? He was a true leader, right? When the danger starts coming in, he says his people, yeah, you guys, you stay out. I got this, right? That's not what we have in this world, man.
that's why I really believe, Jack, that, you know, and I'm not going to get on you, but some of what Tommy says, I can see the point of, because you know my walk. And regardless of what attention or whatever else it's gotten me, that's not why I started it. And it's not necessarily why I continue it. I really believe in what I'm doing and the, you know, effects of it, or the effects of it not being done. So, you know, this is, I guess, my sales pitch with no product, but I really do believe that we were all brought here from the beginning to recognize some of these truths that we talk about what living like Jesus is outside kind of the laws of man, if you will. And, you know, a lot of us have that background and history of having everything taken from us or having to go our own way, right? In order to get back to a position inside of ourselves. So, like, I really do believe that potentially we are the perfect vessels in our imperfection to be used to make a change here. And all we really have to do is be the outlaws that we always were. I mean, I know Slow State, you know, went to jail for drugs, and I went to jail for drugs. So if we're willing to go to jail for drugs, why shouldn't we be willing to go to jail or die, right? I almost died twice on drugs. If we're willing to go to jail or die for drugs, why are we not willing to go to jail or die for rights, freedom, principles, spiritual faith? I don't see the point of any of the rest of this crap outside of, you know, that, right? These panels and everything else.
Negative outcomes, though, are the wrong thing to aim for. Going to jail and dying is a failure.
Right, but that's not the outcome that I'm aiming for. Obviously, I don't do what I do hoping that I die or go to jail, and it hasn't happened yet. What I have done is accomplish certain things, inspired others, and gotten results, and brought value down from quote unquote God to the world, which is what I believe we're all here to do, is to be conduits at times, certain times and places. So yeah, that's not the end goal. We have to open ourselves up to that. Just like the end goal with doing drugs wasn't dying or going to jail. That's where it always takes you.
Right.
It seems, but that wasn't the goal, right? The goal on some level, ironically enough, was to be, do, or have better, right? Even if it's just a feeling based thing. So the idea is still the same, right? It's addiction toward the word, right? There's two versions of that.
The past was preparation. And what is today preparing us for? Who knows? But Paul, one of the things, you know, I don't deny this. I do honor the messages that you're sharing. I mean, you're consistent with rights, freedom, and principles. And those are truly what has been lost in this land. My approach is just a little bit different, but in my rebellion, in my years of rebellion, I also had to learn how to, my life taught me to obey and therefore comply. But through obedience and compliance, you can learn how to abide. You can learn how to get through the rules without really, I feel, without really giving in or giving away your character. But then again, and I think this is where Paul stands pretty firm, is, you know, you start giving in one area and then it's a slippery slope. You start, next thing you know, you're just voting for Trump.
Yeah, or you're just letting kind of everything pass you by while you debate about life instead of living life to the fullest and getting out of life whatever has meant for you, you know? I really do believe there is more meant for us here. And the only thing stopping us from touching that is what we're willing to do to get there, you know? And we see with most folks, in and of the world, they're not really willing to do too much to step out of the boundaries that culture and society has set for them and held them back for what's meant for them.
There's more who are. In my view, my memory of what I've seen, I think there's more people who are, they're stepping out of their comfort, either by force, the universe is pushing them out of their comfort zone, or they're seeing the signs and they're having enough. There's a lot going on in this world, and I'm actually pretty excited to be alive at this time. In the past, I didn't think there was much in life for me. And I think that I thought that because I didn't think I had much to share. But I think every one of us, to varying degrees, well, no, because there's not, but to varying degrees, many of us deal with self-worth issues based upon things from the past, or things we were told, or things we thought. That low self-worth, man, that's what turned me into an addict. And I think that's what it may be behind a lot of people's addictions. And the low self-worth is simply from unresolved trauma. Because when we're carrying those pains, we don't feel very well, and then that hurt comes through in what we do. But we have a time here. One of the things, Paul, what you shine with, well, let me not use you as an example. One of the things, being in the public, right, doing the online stuff, there's a requirement for us to pay attention to ourselves, to figure out what are we sharing, because the crowd will definitely feed it back, right? What I've been learning is the easiest for myself is just to be authentic, to walk with integrity, and to be curious. And I think as long as we stay curious, we maintain our integrity, in other words, stay with the truth, then it's not so hard to be authentic.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely something there when it comes to teasing apart the reflections and conscious and awareness of what society puts forth as our source of self-worth and self-awareness versus what we come to discover or realize about ourselves once we leave that society or that group, right? What's been waiting for us all the time. So yeah, that's where I stand, man. I think that's the greatest power and opportunity here for all of us. And I think it's pretty clear at this time more than ever what it wishes from us, right? And then the question is just going to be, are we going to do that, or are we going to continue business as usual, right? We don't want to accept the blessings that are here for us and the opportunities because we know it's going to take work. We'd rather just do the trauma and the sickness that we've always done. These panels are reflections of it, man.
It is. It is. But it's what we've known. And this is what I've had to remind myself of. While we may see others and think, wow, they should be doing different, they should be better than they are. The reality is every one of us is operating at the level of awareness and knowledge that we've learned. No one can do something they haven't learned how to do. But the world taught people not to pay attention to themselves, but to pay attention to authority and celebrity and budgets and bills and regulations and rules. And as a result, the world is literally insane with greed, fear, and hate. Well,
then we're a part of that. Mm-hmm. You can't make that statement without the either unfortunate or fortunate statement that that lives within us because we live within it.
Yes, absolutely. But knowing the problem is the first step. Once we identify the problem, once we face the fear and identify the fear, it really loses its power. And in every problem is a solution.
What if there is no problems?
You mean if it's all perfect?
What if everything is just how it's supposed to be?
I'm confident it is. It's
Well, then there's nothing to worry about.
exactly. There's no reason to fear. There's nothing to worry about. Everything is perfect with room for improvement.
Right, but that's the thing too, is there's a false presumption there that with the recognition that everything's perfect and it's imperfection, we have to worry rather than take the reins in our own life to change what needs to be changed in our own life and potentially in the world to create our future. If not, then we never activate in any sense to do or be or have anything. And what kind of life is that? So we don't have to, deny the imperfections. It could be perfect in its imperfection, and we don't have to deny our accountability, responsibility to make changes that potentially could or should be made, because that's what's going to create the future. And there's no worry necessary in any of that process. Worry stifles that process.
Yeah, but people do, live in a world that they view as wrong, and that does cause worry and pressure, and that's what keeps people locked in. Slaving themselves to death so that they can retire and die in a year.
People, I think a lot of people are like I used to feel. They feel trapped in this system because depending on which direction you look, the world looks pretty scary, pretty bleak. You look at the economics, the international climate, the economic climate, the political climate. There's a lot going on in this world. But if we can accept that, yes, I am a part of that. And yes, maybe the world is insane, and maybe I am a little insane.
You are.
Well, I know I am. Well, but then again, it comes down to perspective. Compared to what? Compared to who?
Nobody's normal once you get to know them.
Yeah, I don't think I am as insane. I think the body and its perspective is comfortable with habits and habituation, even if those habituations are by definition insane, right? There is some level of comfort to the body with the idea of doing the same thing over and over again, even if it's uncomfortable.
Yes. That's one of the things that's good and bad about the human species. We do acclimate. We change. We get accustomed to whatever. But that works to the downside as well as the good. I mean, because America has gotten acclimated to this society where the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer, and it's just normal to everybody.
We should steal their shit
No, we should rewrite the rules.
so that we can steal their shit.
No.
I'll give you a third one. Let's play this game where we go around the panel. This is what I've been wanting from the beginning, is that we just accept that each one of us is a character and that we're not going to like each other or always respect each other, but we're going to play off of each other for the audience's benefit or detriment, I guess, and the overall experience.
All right.
But yeah, so he said steal their shit. Jack says rewrite the rules. I say stop following rules and understand the law of creation.
The law of creation has rules. That's the rules we need to align with, is the natural order.
But we can't write them or rewrite them, right?
And I don't know if we can really break them.
We can rewrite man's rules so that they are in line with the natural.
So that it's not stealing. They're donating it.
Well, donations should be. This is the thing. We could create a what was the terms I had? A giving economy, where people actually share their efforts, their rewards, their benefits, and it would make more sense rather than having the CEOs taking 300 times what the lower workers are doing. If we actually brought more fairness and equity into the exchanges. I mean, it's so blatant and obvious. America has been oppressing the workers. Workers And I know the unions had their own problems, but that was part of the big picture, right? Corrupt the unions so the workers don't organize, and then the CEOs can make 300 times what the workers make. So,
I mean, why wouldn't you just become a CEO if the work isn't worth 300 times the salary, right? If the work is comparable, then just go for that job.
that's an absurd statement, right?
Well, why not? You obviously the work isn't worth 300 times as much, so
Okay.
I'm just saying it doesn't appear that being a CEO is a very rare skill set. It seems I'm under the impression that you're under the impression that it's pretty common. Anybody could do it.
Well, depending on the job, pretty much anyone can do. Well,
Jack, he's forgetting that a guy who just fell upstairs half a dozen times and used to shit his pants was running the biggest corporation as the head CEO on the world stage.
Yeah.
He forgot about that. And now Donnie's taken over to lock it all down and warp speed it. He forgot about all that.
Well, it's insane to think that. I mean, I don't even know how to respond to that comment because it's so absurd.
Well, first we'd have to distinguish the difference. First, we'd have to distinguish the difference between a capable, competent, even somewhat healthy, competitive, free trade market versus the corruption that is modern day capitalism and cronyism with its nepotism and a whole bunch of other isms that don't seem to be as beneficial to self and others. Kind of like when Taylor earlier said, I made some comment. He goes, well, it's been beneficial to me because the only metric he uses for whether it's beneficial to himself or not is profit. So he thinks a lot like the corporations do. The bottom line is profit. So as long as we've made a couple more greenbacks by the end of this, then we're better off. It doesn't matter if the house is on fire and the world's burning down around you, right?
I didn't realize that OTW was up here.
Deflection, I'm guessing?
No,
10 points?
You're sounding just like OTW. How do you
sounding like is code for you want time to wait before you address the perspective because you don't really know what to say.
Well, you're not really saying anything because I don't know why you would think that. Would you elaborate on why you think that?
Because you've had people around you tell you you're fatter than ever, you're tweaking out more than ever, you're up all night, sleeping all day, and to you, it's benefited you because you've gotten a few more $100 more bucks a month or whatever it is.
Nights.
And again, this is a replication of the same thing that I've gone through, right? Where at one point I was getting.
What I'm doing.
If I could finish, you asked me a question you don't really want the answer to. This is why most of you can't interact and actually bond because you're not interested in exchanging experience and information.
You're not interested in bonding.
Potentially I am. I have been for years. I'm just not able to do it with you and others for varied reasons.
Because you don't know how to bond with peers and equals. Well,
again, I didn't know that you got some kind of degree in psychology and sociology. That must be part of your narcissistic qualities where you presume that you have some authority to make a diagnosis on others. So I'm just pointing out what I've seen. I've not made any clinical diagnosis, right? I'm just pointing out what I've seen and experienced.
How about this? I'll agree that.
And this is why also that I can't bond with you because
you don't know what's best.
This is another reason I can't bond with you because you have a way and a habit of not answering direct questions when it's to your liking and then deflecting off something else and hoping we don't get back to the thread because you just did it. You just did it. I said something that was somewhat poignant and you had no answer to it and you brought up someone else and now we're out and lost in the sauce again. Because you want to play power games and you're
I'm offering you
right?
Put aside the power games.
It was going great because we were sticking to the issues and our perspectives, and as soon as you couldn't substantiate your perspective, you started the deflection power game, lost in the sauce, and here we are.
As to why you think that my money is an issue.
You're trying to steer this toward me having jealousy and envy toward you. You're now trying to play chess with me with more power games. It's not the point I was making. I was just about to make a point, Jack, if you'll let me, that I went through the same thing. I was sharing my own experience and correlating it to yours. That's bonding. If I'm saying I'm the same as you and I believe we have the same life and experience, you'd rather compete with me than bond over the truth, or even just be neutral and talk about the truth for the sake of the audience, or for just the sake of not fighting and arguing and doing drama, because you're a drama slut, self-proclaimed. Right.
Okay,
So as I was about to say, before you deflected and tried to take us out into left field, and did, and we're about to get back, I also was getting heavier. I also was getting more toxic in different ways. Okay. I also was not eating and resting the way I should. And I also was burning the candle at both ends. So while I was making more paperbacks backed by nothing, I was destroying myself and potentially opportunities around me. Okay.
Yeah, but you've never made as much as me, and you've been much heavier.
There it is. There it is, folks. It wouldn't be complete if you didn't try to play the power game and cope, man.
Well, Paul,
I'm not going to do this with you. You keep trying to push a non-petition with me. You keep trying to cope.
Sit on your soapbox.
I'm not going to do it with you. I'm poor and broke. You have all the money. We're going to leave it at that.
Can we pause, please? I want to welcome Vibe. I don't know if I've seen you, but welcome.
Hey, thanks, Jack. No, I haven't been on your channel before. I have chatted in your channel a couple times. You have responded, so that's cool. Sorry to be a stranger coming in here. I actually do know Flo over here,
Okay.
though he is a secularist and I am a Christian myself. But I did find it quite interesting when you guys were kind of talking about the CEOs, and Flo was trying to kind of stand up a little bit on that side, and you guys are kind of crushing them there. And as an owner myself of a company that I struggled with for a really long time and worked really hard on, and had to make a lot of sacrifices, almost to the point of my family, and financially almost going broke to the point of success. I sometimes think that we look at some of the most greedy CEOs out there, which I think, personally, in my opinion, is a very small percentage. That they are these evil dictators of a corporation considered almost like its own entity, right? And I mean, if you look at some of these CEO owners, they may pay a lower tax percentage, maybe even 7%, because they get away with so much. But in 1 year, they pay more than most people in that year make or pay to the IRS for the whole entirety of their lives. And they're criticized for paying a lower tax rate, even though they're paying one human's whole tax rate for the entirety of their life every year, right? So they definitely contribute to the United States, not to mention their workers. Now, we can look at some companies like Amazon, who I definitely think are exploiting some of their workers. But we can also look all the way back into history of like Kellogg and Ford. Ford started his company saying that the people that work at my company are going to be the first ones that can afford my cars. Now, that was a genius CEO. Kellogg was the first company to actually introduce healthcare and daycare for family workers. Now, this is going way back in history. We can go into the days of Google and like looking at all the benefits that they give their employees. I don't think all CEOs are corrupt, and I don't think all CEOs are out there to destroy. And so I'm just kind of coming with that argument. And I know I've been really long-winded. I have more to say, but I'll stop there. So I'm not preaching here.
Appreciate that, Vibe. And then those are valid points, but I don't see it as the individuals as the problem anyway. I see it as systematic problems, because the CEO is focused on his job, which is profits and rewards to the shareholders, and that's what the entire organization exists. You said you're a business owner, you developed your own business, you had something in you that you wanted to share, you wanted to provide, I'm assuming, and a way for you to provide for you and your family. So you work hard doing that.
And I think that's kind of what Flo was going to as well when he was saying, so anybody can be a CEO, right? No, not anybody can.
Right.
I mean, I think everybody wants to be, and especially once you get some success, you have a lot of people going, hey, I have an idea. Can you help me support this? But it's not necessarily about the idea. And we can see lots of great ideas fail if you don't have the ability to build a workforce, to keep your employees happy, keep your employees. And coming from a God-based perspective on this. I do look at profit, but originally when I got in there, I looked at profit because I was worried about my family. When I made a change to figuring out how I can get my employees to actually feel that profit and engage in that profit, instead of me going, well, it's not just about profit. It's about how well I engage my employees and how happy can I give them a good life? Can I give them a house? Can I give them a car? Can I give them all the comforts of their family? And the more I do that, it turns out that the profit started going up, and the more profit, then the more ability I had to give those same things. So sometimes profit is not a bad motivation, and there's definitely nothing in the Bible. The Bible talks all the time about wise money spending. It doesn't say. It only says give up your assets if that's what you desire, right? If your only thing is profit. But it does say when you have your heart in God, also be really smart with your money. And being smart with your money is profiting and making wise decisions.
Right, but it seems like you have the other two comments down, but it seems you completely ignored my contribution when I said we would have to delineate between a truly incentive-based or passion-based, faith-based free trade economy versus modern-day capitalism, which has largely been overtaken by the United States corporation is the example, corruption, bad faith, dishonor, and untrustworthiness. So, again, there's usually a dual jurisdiction in this world because it's a dualistic reality. There's at least two perspectives.
Yeah, and I may have missed that part because I did come in, I think, right when Flo was defending himself. So I do apologize. I wasn't trying to ignore that particular statement. I just may have missed it. But ultimately, too, we have to look at the whole world economy as well. I think there's a lot of things that can be fixed in capitalism. In some ways, you could look at Jesus and say maybe he was a bit of a Marxist in the sense he's like, hey, share everything. I know a lot of capitalists in my church, and we give a lot. I mean, I don't even think the government needs to be involved in the social welfare system, because I do believe a lot of people that are successful through faith are very willing to give, and the hands are out there, but not everybody goes to it because they're scared of it. But when it comes to capitalism,
is there a reason he keeps mumbling and talking over people?
I was going to say that is capitalism when you voluntarily donate your money.
It's actually voluntarism. It's not capitalism, because the root word of capitalism would be capitalize.
Right, but the root word doesn't define the whole concept. So free market capitalism is built on two cornerstones: voluntary transactions and property rights. So yes, it is capitalism.
Yep. And our choices were voluntarily sold away. The international banking scheme has taken control of the entire world. So while we're talking, I mean, there's ups and downs to the system, but we have got to accept that what we have today is not working for everybody. And that's kind of unfortunate, because the people who have the money and who are comfortable, they don't see any problem with it. But the ones who are hungry, and I think Dusty or others, they've pointed this out about me. Yeah, I am. I'm thirsty. I'm hungry to change this system because it hasn't worked. Now, I know how I could have made money. I know there's ways my life could be totally different right now had my focus been on money. But it's not, because I care about the teachings of Jesus. And Jesus was a radical in his days. He was standing against the state, the structures of religion, and the not the structures of religion, but the implementation of worship and the practice. And it wasn't clear, but it was against the money too. It's all this.
Yeah, but this is something I was kind of pointing to also with the parables. He talks about the three slaves and what they did with the owner's money, right? The parable ends in the one that dug a hole and put the money in the hole and did nothing was the one that did something wrong, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there are so Jesus doesn't actually say, hey, money is worthless. He says, be smart with your decisions and how you make those decisions. But he also says, like, there's another parable where, he says the richest guy, abandon everything, give everything away, because he knew that person's heart was purely in the money, right? So, I mean, if your heart's not in the money, but you're smart with your money and you're making the profit decisions in God's nature, that is a good thing to do. If your heart is only in the money and not making decisions in God's nature, that is the wrong thing to do. Now, to come back to the honorable judge here, and your point too, I will concede instantly that the capitalist system can be better in the United States, but it also is a really hard thing to look at just the United States and how can we change that? Because if we change, we're also playing with a bunch of people that don't play by the rules. And we can look at China, right? And if
but
we
as
start
we
going
know,
by our Christian ethics, China will win, which sucks. So we have to have this.
Win what?
We have to be.
What are they going to win?
Right.
Well, I mean, they'll own all the property in the United States. We'll all be renting. I mean, I'm going way extremes, but I mean, they already have. They already are buying up.
Right,
Tons
that's
of
already
property
happened.
Here.
I don't know where you've
Even in
been, sir.
California
There are
right now,
large.
most of the money.
There are large swaths of land all over what I would call America that are already owned by various state of corporations, diplomats, lobbyists, whoever, whatever you want to say is already out there. This notion that creating a system that largely in part backs and protects the most corrupt, ambitious people is not the best course of action. Right now, that doesn't mean that I believe that the best course of action either is to go to the other end and try to turn everything over to a bunch of lazy masses who can't find their ass with both hands. There's usually a middle ground here, right? And it would be a free trade, free market system. The incentivization is to do and be and have better. One aspect of do and be and have better is not destroy yourself, everyone else, or the world in the process of creating a product or a service, which we can't seem to get that done. And when I say we, I mean the world at large, if we're going to do the we game, right?
The systems are what they are. For the average Joe to start a business, you did it, Vibe, right? It's not easy. You got to learn not just your craft, not just your business, then you got to learn accounting and all the hiring practices and all the other rules and all the other insurances. We've created a society. It's overcomplicated by purpose. Keep the masses dumb, keep the masses poor. They're going to keep dividing themselves, and that's what's happening in America. Identity politics is, all these reasons for people to be divided.
Yeah,
So
again, we have
that on
capitalism.
purpose.
As you folks describe it, we have capitalism in its purest and most unadulterated form. And we literally saw over the last 5 years one of the biggest hoaxes, medical tyrannies, genocide campaigns, lack of rights, freedom principles, personal choice, and an ability to protect private property or even to engage in adequate service. And yet you're still not seeing how this type of thinking and this perspective is what got us here, right? And again, the answer is not necessarily going to the other extreme either. So I don't think anybody
had the purest form of capitalism here.
Well, the way you believe that it is, right? Not the way that I would understand it, which what I think that you mean to say is free trade, free market with open incentivization to do and be and have better based on some level of healthy competition.
All about what we have, but we definitely don't have the purest form of it.
No, we've got a mess, and we need to accept that fact. Personally, I don't have much comfort or faith in the current people who are employed in Washington, D.C. Now, just like the CEOs with the shareholders, those men and women in Congress, Donald Trump, we are the shareholders of that corporation. So how do we get their attention? That's what
I just want to ask him real quick if we can hold on to that idea. That's a better one. I just realized what you just said. Right? How can we get that? Had to come up at some point, guys. Let's refocus. How are we going to get Donald Trump's fucking attention? He's got bigger problems, Jack. His feet are swollen lately. Have you seen the pictures of his shoes? His cow feet are stuffed in his shoes. He can't get an erection any longer. The man's on his way out. He's too busy eating McDonald's hamburgers.
All right. So first off, Are we worried
I
about the
want- I
people that are
want-
employed or the people that are elected?
This guy's obviously a Trump fetishist. I bet anything on it right now. If I asked him who he voted for and who he supports, he's going to tell me Donnie's his daddy. But I'd like to ask Taylor, can he substantiate how this isn't the purest form of capitalism? At least for one group of people, if you will, right? Because that's what I'm contending. This is the purest form of capitalism for one group of people, root word being capitalized. And of course, the end goal not being money. It's only poor people who think the whole point of this system is to get more money. Once you have all the money, the goal is power.
Who is
and
this?
soul breaking.
What system is this, or what group is this the purest form of capitalism for?
For the folks who are running United States corporations, State of Israel, and many other corporations masquerading as nations to indoctrinate the people in a world where statute, policy, and code runs their life, and they endlessly pay tribute to the top.
Do they have to pay taxes? Do they have to buy insurance? Do they have to do all these things?
What?
That's coercive, right?
Right.
Taxes violate
capitalizing, right? They're capitalizing off the fear of the average slave to not do what's true and what's right and just want to go along to get along. So it is the purest form of capitalism for one group of people because they're literally capitalizing on everyone else's psychology and what they know about sociology.
They have to pay taxes as well.
I think that you're off on that because again, this is why we can't. It's laughable you guys all want to do debates, but have little foundation for your understanding of history and how things actually work.
Now
So you're really contending. You're really contending the merchant banker families from the beginning of time who literally have testified in open court. They run whole nations that are corporations.
Have to pay tax too. We're talking about America.
Even if they did, quote unquote, pay tax too to make it look good, it's not the same situation. Some family out there is not going to be able to buy a car this year to get around because they got to pay tribute, they believe, to such and such. That's not the same as Lord Rothschild giving away $1 million this month in order to push his brand and look more philanthropic.
If it's the same or not. What I'm saying is that there are coercive, involuntary transactions that take place for everybody.
Here's the bottom line to this.
Okay.
If we had to sum this up, most of you are cowardly. You just want to make more money and have a more comfortable life. You don't want to stand on what's really true and right, and you don't want to be completely free and self-governing.
I'm certainly not taking advice from somebody whose girlfriend drives him around. I guess
again, that's your narrative that you like to put forward. Me choosing to be ridden around doesn't change what I've done or what I do in other capacities. That's a deflection and an attempt to devalue in the mean.
Here, let me
see. You haven't evolved past a middle school emotional intelligence. That's your issue,
Paul. Please, I want to press back because while the appearance may be that people don't want to stand on rights or do what's right, I don't believe that's true. I believe within every one of us, we want to do what's right. We want our freedom, but there's a lot of uncertainty. You know, there's a lot of people, it feels more comfortable to continue going along with the Joneses and doing what the neighbors are doing. But if people understood, I mean, Henry Ford was quoted as saying it back over 100 years ago. If something along the lines, if people understood the truth of the banking system, there'd be revolutions in the streets by tomorrow. I mean, I've learned. I'm suggesting let's get in the streets. Let's do something. We have the opportunity. Some of the changes, right? You're right. It can't just be America. This is a worldwide problem that we're facing here. The corruption, Blackstreet, BlackRock, whatever, this is worldwide. Everyone is in this together. We're dealing with the same battles of corporations and governments and banks in every single nation. So we have the opportunity. Let's make America what it was created to be. Let's the men and women of this land fulfill our duty and our obligation to protect our freedoms. Let's find a way to get control of the United States government. And when the United States government is under control, we can initially deal with the debts, and America can lead the rest of the world into rewriting the rules. I see that as, honestly, I know it sounds impossible, but to me, that's the only way that humanity is going to continue. It's this path of war and oppression and exploitation, poisoning the air, poisoning our food. What good is an economic system if everyone is diseased and sick?
Or enslaved.
Nobody's starving to death. It seems to be doing something right.
Or enslaved.
Again, the last 5 years proved exactly what we just both said, that people were either getting sick from an unknown/known cause that we weren't allowed to talk about, right? Or they were being enslaved by being locked down and told what they were going to do by their servants, and told if they want services and to be served, they're going to have to take the pokey poke. They're going to have to do the polka dance, right? So we're going to have to get really real with ourselves and each other and meet life on life's terms and stop projecting onto life our own terms about how life's going to be lived, because that's what got us here, and that ain't going to solve the problems we've created.
Yeah, I mean, what you guys just unpacked there while I was listening, I have like 8 different rebuttals too, and I don't even know where to start.
Well, do you want to argue or
I
understand?
didn't hear a prescription, right?
Uh-oh.
Wasn't one. Vibe, you're not crazy. We are.
Right. It's easier to argue when there's a prescription. I just hear complaining. So
No.
I mean, I think really we've
have
and I complain
questions?
too, by the way. So
Hey,
you know,
Vibe.
we all complain about our things here. But
Yeah.
it gets difficult, right? We know that capitalism started before there was governments, before anything. When somebody needed
Feudalism.
a fur coat, and the other guy needed a fire, right? And that was trade. So capitalism started when I have a skill and somebody else has a skill. We both don't have those skills, so we trade. That's where capitalism started, right?
Hey, Vibe. I'm sorry to interrupt. Okay, you pointed out that you didn't hear what you wanted. You didn't hear the prescription. Do you have questions? Because sitting here while you tell us the history of capitalism, I'm not sure where you're going, my
I think
friend.
he was building to it. Maybe if you had just chilled for a second, he would have got there.
Well, I also wanted to offer the opportunity. If you didn't understand what the two of us were saying, I'm happy
So
to
what is the
explain
prescription?
why I
Then
say
let me
what I-
ask that first.
The
But
truth.
yeah, I was trying to build from all of our fundamental knowledge to see where we vary. and
That's
where
like
we break
saying
off
it's like saying
from the
America
base level,
started
and then
off.
figure out how do we fill that hole where we divide, right?
Okay.
It's
But,
like
I
saying
mean-
America started off as a place for rights, freedom, principles, and spiritual faith, and turned into United States Corporation as we see it now. So the intent is always good, but the function is always lost or misdirected because the preponderance of the people are dishonorable, untrustworthy, and bad faith, and they get the government they deserve.
So
And-
Jack had mentioned if we could talk up to the employees, but I think when Jack was saying employees, let me clarify this, Jack. You meant our elected officials, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
That's
And
right.
so really fundamentally, if we go on that particular basis, what is the air there that the elected officials, the ones that we choose, are actually not the ones that we chose?
Right. It
Right,
comes
'cause
back to person. This is the point. It comes back to personal accountability, something all the folks with the LLCs, the limited liability corporations, don't want to engage in: personal responsibility, accountability, and liability.
But could if the elected official that both you and Jack want was in place?
I don't
and
want
was
necessarily an
elected,
elected official. You'd have to go to him for his commentary. I don't want anyone else representing me and talking for me and saying what I want and need.
Okay, so
while they
what was your
hand me a
prescription?
bill.
Here, if I can address this, because Paul and I do have different views. He just wants no
And I
part.
am doing this in good faith, by the way. I do want to kind of.
That's
I think
probably
I-
a mistake.
Now, my view is we use the system. Yeah, a lot of the people in those positions in government, I didn't vote for them, but they're there, right? And so we don't always get to choose who we work with, but there's a job that needs to be done. And that job I see needing to be done is to clean up the corruption out of the United States government. Now, the reason we have such problems with the people in those positions is because of the legality of secrecy. Our nation is built upon lies and secrets. And I realize the other nations are the same thing. But if we want to face the worldwide problem, we need to face the fact. The truth is important. The truth shall set us free. When we reform the rules so corporations and governments are no longer legally keeping secrets, we will have transparency. We'll have oversight.
You're going to implement
That's what we
FOIA?
claim we need. What's that?
You're going to implement FOIA? Freedom of Information Act?
No, I'm talking about we stop paying contractors to manipulate the media. We stop paying contractors to go overthrow governments. We stop funding the military industrial complex. Just some pretty obvious ideas.
So,
Man,
I mean,
Jack, you don't really want to win, do you?
So I mean, I respond to that in saying that if the elected official that you believed would uncover the truth, be honest, and actually expose the issues with the United States instead of giving us these nice holiday gift cards about how wonderful everything is, the United States would get much better, right?
No, it wouldn't, because your officials, your official standing somewhere repeating the truth that you and others won't live doesn't change the truth you and others won't live. It's an illusion and a mirage, right? So Jack just said it's built on a lie. The lie starts from within, with each person repeating crap like this. Oh,
So
when are we finally going to get the? When are we finally going to get the billionaire elected official who's part of the system / not part of the system, who's going to advocate for the everyman? He's got to be right around the corner any time here. And no matter how many hundreds and thousands of years you play this game, it never occurs to you the game was created to deceive you and to take your power and property and rights, because you don't want to be accountable and responsible for yourself, your community, your nation, on and on and on. You want to abdicate that responsibility to a group of fools and liars while you go off and make more money. That's the reality of what's going on, and has always gone on.
Do
you have any government, Paul?
Yes, self-government. It was called a republic for a reason. It's supposed to be a self-governing endeavor as much as possible. We're not supposed to be taken care of. We're not supposed to be taken. I didn't say that necessarily. You folks can't think in anything other than extremes, and it undoes you.
I'm begging you to tell me.
I'll meet you in the middle. I'll meet you in the middle. We're going to live free. We can do whatever we want. If we don't cause loss, injury, and harm, we pay our own debts. And when someone breaches the peace, someone can come out and have an interaction with them. The way it used to be, the way America once was in its heyday. But that was too dangerous and unsafe.
Even in that scenario, though, Paul, what's the answer for the money system?
I don't necessarily
without a money system.
I don't necessarily have an answer for that, and I may be with more on your side of the camp with one issue, and I may fall on the other side of the camp with another issue. When it comes to the economic system, I may be more along the lines of the free trade system, right? Where either you're going to work your way up some societal ladder by putting in the time, energy, and attention and promoting yourself with your market value, or you're going to create a product or a service that can sustain you through the community, right? I don't see any other system that could work without making a group of people then someone's authority and keeper, right? Because usually in this world, fortunately or unfortunately, nothing's for nothing. So when a hand reaches out to say, hey, I'm going to give to all the people who slipped through the safety net, there's usually a by the way, right? And we require your vote and your lobbying and your time, energy, attention, so we can use you as a power base to move the levers of a system in another direction, right? So there's usually a give and take somewhere, right? We just have to decide what that give and take is going to be.
All right. So, Judge, we let's say we move to a self-governing system. There still needs to be enforcement, right? When somebody isn't paying their debts that they're responsible for and things like that. Who's going to control that?
I mean, again, the presumption is that that's already controlled now. There's many people who owe debts they've never paid. They've skipped out on their debts, created other LLCs, and opened up shop again. So we have to start with this adherence to and acceptance that the way things are going right now currently doesn't work. So how does more of that make it better?
Perfect worldview.
The answer would be something that's probably never going to be able to be achieved all places at all times. A co-creative universal simulation is non-simultaneously apprehended. that means, okay, please don't speak for me. Just wait your turn to speak. I know you haven't been engaged with, and that bugs you, but try to fight that impulse to
Go ahead. Keep
try to
telling us
put
about
power
how you
games
don't
with this.
know.
So it's non-simultaneously apprehended. That means there's going to be different people with different states of consciousness at all different places and times, either engaging in what I'm proposing and getting their own results, or not, right? So I don't believe we can ever actually have a world. Well, if I do believe it, I'm not hopeful for it, right? I leave it open because I know that's part of Jack's platform, and I accept that as well. Like, as far as having an optimistic, open door outcome, it could be whatever we want it to be, and then the results are going to speak for themselves, right? So we don't abandon that dream, but we don't necessarily believe all the dreams are going to come true, if that makes sense, to quote Billy Joel. So yeah, it starts. It's act locally, think globally. To quote Jack from a couple weeks ago, quoting someone else, I'm pretty sure, but it's act locally, think globally, and then surrender the rest in faith. After we do the next right thing, working in trust, equity, good faith, honor, and upholding the law of the land. Right, exercising our rights to be free.
Hey, if I can, Vibe, I'd love to ask you a couple questions, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Because you identified yourself as a Christian, right?
Correct.
Okay. And earlier in the stream, we had another person who identifies himself as a Christian telling me how wrong I am, how my beliefs are actually against the Bible. But what I'm suggesting is that the men and women of today, it could be, I believe it's possible that the Bible could be interpreted that we could become the return of Jesus when the brothers and sisters of Christ walk with love, united together to face the evil, to reclaim this world in the name of the Savior, so that there's no more dollar is king, according to the most powerful man in America, right? I mean, if we're going to be calling ourselves Christians and we've got a president who thinks the dollar is king, did we learn nothing from the past?
That was a great point. I want to ask you, Vibe, did you vote for Donald Trump? Because I've already been chomping at the bit for me. Humor me, Jack, if you will. I'm curious. Did you vote for good old Big Daddy Donnie?
Yeah, I mean, I will answer the question. I just am going to preface it. Out of all the men that I would sit down and have a beer with, that's probably the last human being on the planet I would ever actually do it with. And yes, I did vote for him. And I actually am supporting quite a few handfuls of his policies, not 100% on board with all of them.
Right. So how are you a Christian when Christ is king, when you gave your time, energy, attention, and will over to a man to lead you and your nation who says the dollar is king? How does that exactly make you a Christian?
As Christians, we have a code that doesn't change. We have a moral expectation to fulfill the duties of Christ. But at the same time, in the Bible, it does say whoever is ruling, you follow their rule unless it goes against God's nature. Now, I mean,
unless it goes against God's nature, that was a hell of a caveat. That pretty much leaves out anybody or anything we've seen come forth. And that's why you're smiling right now, because you understand how ridiculous that would be to quote.
No. Okay. So
the Constitution says the same thing, by the way. So I could call myself a constitutional Christian. In the Constitution, it says we have to adhere to our servants' limited authority till they do tyranny, and then we can overthrow them or ignore them, right? It's the same idea, same, because it's based in common fucking sense.
Paul, I want to hear what he says, please.
Yeah, the guy who said there's no list. He's why I oughta. He's getting me riled up, Jack.
I know.
You may have to give me the Tommy tune-up treatment.
Sorry, so what was the question? The final question? You asked me who I voted for. I told you.
Yes.
Again, this is the point, right? The point is I'm literally talking to someone who's exactly the same as thousands of other people I've interviewed or interacted with before. You have literally the same exact perspectives, a similar look, a similar way of speaking. It's just all the way down the line, right? That's proof to me of mind and heart control and the idea of manufacturing personalities and beings.
Okay.
Right. So like you say one thing, which is the common answer. Oh, I'm Larry. I'm from North Carolina. I'm a Christian. I have my collared shirt. I'm a business owner. And then when I go, how are you a Christian? You go, I vote for worldly masters who lie right to our face over and over again, work with human traffickers, and I ask him to lead me and lead us because he's my shepherd. We're his flock, right?
I mean, Paul,
And
you're
then
not.
you quote the Bible, and then you can put on the end of the Bible quote that the Bible says we should
on there. So he was the
Okay.
correct choice. And I will back that up because even if he's
There
not
is
a
no correct
right?
choice, sir. This
Paul,
is the game
Paul.
of the simulation. Okay.
No, this is bullshit.
Please.
So
Please let him.
This is bullshit, right? Keep choosing from two false choices, condemning your soul over and over again for
no, I mean,
thousands of years. You still don't get the point of the simulation
I'm
Earth.
guiding you down what your moral compass is and asking you questions to tell me how to achieve that, because I think that would be good. I've actually already conceded that I think we have a bad system of capitalism going on here. I'd love to see it change. I've actually been asking leading questions.
But you
and
keep voting for it and paying
keep
for
on
it.
diverting the conversation to try. You're now doing personal attacks to divert.
It's
the
not a
conversation.
personal
I'm
attack to point out the
you.
logical inconsistency. Someone who says
There's no
the
logical
system is
inconsistency. Logical inconsistency is that you keep on saying we got to fix things, but when I actually ask you for your prescription, you keep on coming back. Now you're coming back on personal attacks.
right. I have
haven't done
personal
one personal attack
experience
against
that
you
I
this
put
whole
on
time.
record. I've had personal experience. I'm not just hot air like you and many others who say this, say that, and then have nothing to show or don't do
All
anything.
I'm hearing from you right now is hot air.
I know because this is a limited venue, sir. So absence of proof isn't proof of absence, right? So the proof is available.
Exactly. You are absence of proof right now.
Okay, I can't hold out something on camera to you to prove to you and make it real for you that what I'm saying makes sense. The fact that you can't understand what I'm saying makes sense is proof of why democracy or even a republic could never work. A republic, if you can keep it. Folks like you can't keep it. You're too cowardly and logically inconsistent. You won't stand up for what's true. Right? You won't stop complying with slavery.
To build a conversation here, and you keep on diverting the conversation. Ask the chat. They'll see.
Okay, how many vaccines did you take? I don't know. You know, let me ask Jack because Jack may not want to
actually
Jack may not want to
and understand your view and find out where you're coming from.
Usually what I would do right now is ask 10 questions to point out how logically inconsistent, hypocritical you are. But Jack, I don't think necessarily wants that. So I'm going to reserve that for a later date.
Thank you. Please.
And I apologize. I know I'm new on here, and I actually am looking to explore judges.
I don't think you have anything to apologize for. I may, and I'm not going to. So I think that gives you a bye.
He's just another bitter homeless guy. He's not operating in good faith.
No, please.
That's the personal attack, right? See, Slow State's the one who's been doing
How
personal
is it a
attacks.
personal attack to say something that's the truth?
Okay, so because I live on the land in a camper and have most of my assets in investments or value, I don't put whatever I have into how that I live day to day in pretty nice things and comforts. I have to be poor, broken, homeless.
You on someone else's land. You don't have a car. Like you get. How are you?
I have two cars, Slow State. I have a Maxima, and I just got a truck 6 months ago. Why are you lying on me right now and doing more money? The guy made a few $1,000s over the past 6 months, and every time he gets a chance, he has to do this game with me.
This is the same.
In the future, if I'm going to come here, you probably can't have him here because he's so bitter and angry and jealous. He takes every opportunity to try to snipe at me or project onto me to do some competition with me, and he can't even win that competition if we were to actually do it. It's so silly.
Then let's do it.
I already offered you 3 years ago. Put up what you have objectively in private. We'll do it. We'll put X amount in escrow. If you have less, then you have to give over whatever you put in escrow.
Just demonstrate something. I'm saying demonstrate.
I don't have to demonstrate to the public, state what I have. I'm not on record. I don't pay taxes. I don't get income technically. And I'm not putting what I have on record with you or anyone else in the public. If you want it, put your money where your mouth is and get whooped. I told you 3 years ago, and you're not confident in it. Because if you would, you put that. Taxes. I have 10K right here on Cash App alone. I'll put up to whatever that 36-ounce silver is, whatever that's worth. I'll take that out of my Cash App account, not even the bank and the other accounts. Okay. And you can put that in escrow. And when you can't come up with more than 20 grand liquid, I'm going to take whatever's in escrow. Okay.
Paul, you don't nearly have that. Nobody believes this for a second.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the 10K that I have in Cash App, okay, and I'm gonna put it aside in escrow. Blurry. Why is it blurry? Okay. I'm going to take the 10K having Cash App, non-taxable events, gifts from folks.
Hold it back up
I think
again.
that I'm so pretty and amazing when I do my broadcast. I'm going to take the 10K that I have in the Cash App, make sure that Slave State can see it, because he'll say he never saw it. It doesn't exist.
Nobody can read that.
Nobody can read. Okay, so no matter what I do, it's not there. He can't see it. Okay, let me try again on Jack's broadcast, because he has to force this non-petition with me, Fed State, who wants to get me on record with certain people potentially, so they can show up and enforce obligations of capitalism on me. He
Judge,
feeds
just
into.
for a second here. I mean, I did come in here really to discuss ideas with you guys, not go on personal attacks and start the drama channel. And Jack, I'm really sorry that this is my first time on here and that
Nice.
somehow I created this drama. But
so
I
put
really
your
don't
silver
care
up.
who
We'll
has
compare and
10,000
price. When you lose, you're going to give it up, and you'll never be able to hold it up on your broadcast anymore and brag about having 3,000 in silver.
Search cash App balance. Will I be able to find that the first one at the top of the image search list like last time?
Are we done?
Guys, please.
I have never been on a panel where people are showing bank accounts.
Well,
It's not a bank account. It's
is,
Cash App, non-taxable
Whatever.
events,
I mean,
gifts.
money
Download it.
It's gifts from extended friends and family who love me so much. Like when my daddy bought me a camper. I have so many cousins and aunts and uncles out there.
Paul, please,
I don't think we need to prove anything.
I'd really like.
Well, we didn't need to prove anything till Slow State wouldn't shut up about it 5 times just in this broadcast and keep forcing the narrative, but won't ever put up or shut up. He won't do either.
And you didn't need to throw the Cash
He
App
won't
up.
put up and he won't shut up on the fighting front, on the financial front, on any front. He won't put up or shut up because he's a broke, envious, cowardly bitch. See, you got me where you wanted to get me now. You got that out of me. This is all you wanted to get out of me. So now you got it. Do you feel good about it?
Here, what do I need
You
to
feel
do?
better, Taylor?
Oh, Paul, I don't want to throw you out, but please calm down, all right? I'm trying to get this.
I'm tired of this guy sniping and playing power games and projecting onto me and being willing to lie in front of an audience. It's pathetic and embarrassing, and I don't want to be a part of it.
So please stop reacting to it.
No, I
Okay.
like putting it in his face because it's going to get him more jealous and envious to chase me around and promote me on his broadcast and look like the pathetic loser he is.
And
On
that's
some level, I do like it, Jack, and that might be my fault and my problem. You're right. You're right about that.
It's
I loved watching him twist in the wind while trying to play cool, calm, and collected.
I know.
I love his game that he loses
know.
at. He keeps pushing
You
the game and
too.
playing it, but he always loses at it.
Paul, you two test each other.
Oh, I only did
You
15,000 views
enjoy
last
it.
night on my broadcast, by the way. Oh, twist in the wind while he's calm, cool, and collected.
Can you hold that
So
back
now
up?
we're going to viewers and to currency as well, right? Like, I mean, we're not here
Because
to
that's
brag,
all the
right?
capitalists like Slow State care about or feel anything about, right? Is the
Well, I mean,
money
you're
and the
bragging about
numbers.
it right now, right? So, I mean, that's kind of testifying that there is something more than just cash, right? It's viewers, it's clicks, it's likes.
Oh, how about this,
I mean,
sir?
this is
Let's
all
take
part
it
of
to
the
the
bad
next level.
capitalist
Not only
society.
do I have more money and numbers than him, I do more than him on the ground, lead more with people, inspire more, and get more results when it comes to courts and the legal lawful situation.
Nobody
I'm just
cares.
winning.
Hold on, just
That's
a
not what
minute.
life's about.
You guys.
It's absolutely what my life is about. That's my whole purpose for being here is to live free, uphold the law of the land, exercise rights, and inspire others to do the same.
But that's not what you're supposed to worship.
I don't. I
Right.
worship God, and God has communicated to me that that's the best way to live as a man and an American.
Please pause. I brought Nolan up. He's been in the back a little bit, but I don't know Nolan. You're up now. Did you have something to add? Okay. I'm going to assume they don't have anything to add. So you were in the back trying to get my attention. What is that?
Excuse me?
Is this the one? Is this the
He's
image?
not letting it go. Now he's going to force another lie and narrative that my Cash App is a picture from Google. See, this is the point with him. He won't
Right.
let it go. He won't move on. He'll continue to push that I'm lying and that I'm deceiving when that's him.
We can put a pin in it.
Well, it's petty.
It is
Petty.
petty.
dude.
You're lying. You're deceiving. You're denying what I'm saying as if I'm lying and
Can I
deceiving.
please?
You're putting false judgment on me. You're bearing
Okay.
false witness. You're a
Thank
lowlife.
we're at 2 hours, and this is usually where I try and start wrapping
I love
up.
you, brother. I don't know why any of that just happened, by the way.
I have theories. But there was something, I mean, I did want to get back to what Vibe was trying to ask. I mean, because I did give more of a prescription. I even included something you should be able to resonate with, the teachings of Jesus. And you mentioned that, right? That maybe his economic beliefs weren't real supportive of what we've got going on today. But you said it too. It's in the Bible that, you know, the Christians, you go along with what the rules are. But here in America, we got something new, right? We've got the land of equality, supposedly. And so this is where I think us Christians can really put ourselves into the mix. We can speak, right, on behalf of those who have no voice. This is what I'm trying to do. I want to get in front of Donald Trump and the other members of Congress as soon as we can, because they've got connections to the other corporate leaders as well. And if we work together, we can end the Democrat Republican nonsense here in America. We can start actually caring about how do we properly care for a society? How do we properly educate a society? Because what we've got, look online. Look online. This is what society is today.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not trying to fight that. You know, getting rid of the Republican, Democrat, you know, get everybody on board. We can start in the United States. We can start in our churches. And I think the churches are already doing that. I don't think they're lacking that at all. I think they are pushing as hard as they can. However, at the same time, we can't just tell the secularists that believe that abortion is right, that every gender that you believe in your brain is whatever you want to be. We can just tell them all of a sudden tomorrow we have to change. And to the honorable judge, once again, I actually think that you and I probably align more. I kind of feel like you were looking for the negatives in my comments more than the positives, and me trying to get to, hey, let's all three of us, all four of us maybe, try to hash out a really solid prescription. So I love your prescription in the end, Jack, but I mean, we can't just do that, right? Like there's a lot of steps that have to just, like, especially that's why I brought up China. Like when we look at capitalism, China, are the people of China capitalists? No, I mean, they're communists, but they are one of the strongest capitalist nations, being that they are 100% profit based, but national based, right? Here in the United States, we're also profit based, but we try to do it as an individual level. But there are influences with the lobbyists and things. It's such a big conversation. So I'm not actually disagreeing or agreeing with anybody. I'm just saying that, like, that's why I tried to go back to the free trade. I was trying to build a conversation to see where we split first, right? I think it's a great conversation.
I think it is as well. I don't think we can have it with slow state around for obvious reasons. If we go back and look and just, you know, accept what's been shown over and over again. But when it comes to, what's that now?
No, go ahead. You finish.
When it comes to the comment you made about when it comes, what's going on? Someone talking?
Yeah. I'm trying to bring someone up, but I'll wait here. Actually,
remember that silence is sometimes the best answer.
Hold your thought for just a moment. Nolan, I brought him up and then he was stepped away. So Nolan?
Yes.
You're on. Yes.
Good evening, Jake. How are you?
Oh, it's you.
Oh, hold on a second. I do want to conclude something. Last stream, it was a bit interruption. I couldn't complete my statement in your previous two streams where I came. So yes, I do recall Joe Cool did ask me in regards to something about what the prediction of America and how I predicted that around 2035 and next coming decades, how most of America would get N-worded. You precisely remember that. So yes,
I can't understand anything you're saying, and it looks like Jack can't either, based on his facial expression.
And
I vote him off. Too.
Yeah,
I'm still drunk right now. So yes, but I have to conclude something. Yes,
Actually, no, dude. Thank you for your patience, but all I heard was you're coming up to answer something Joe Cool said weeks ago.
But look at how unifying our disdain for him was.
It's fascinating.
But I do want to comment back to Judge in that I actually jumped on because you guys were talking about CEOs, and I actually agreed with Flow State with some of his defense, and I came up and I wanted to question some of that, right? Because I felt like you were just attacking all CEOs are the worst people in the world, I came in basically to say I don't think all CEOs. There are definitely corrupt, money worshipping, they're going to hell CEOs out there. They exist, but I don't think they're all there. I don't think Flow State takes away from the conversation. I came in basically to defend him there. So yeah, but at the same time, I wasn't here to tear you guys down either. Just open the conversation.
I appreciate it. I do feel like maybe it is time to start wrapping up. This has been fun, and let me sit back. We talked about a lot of things, but feel free. Thoughts from anyone?
Thanks for having me up. Paul, stop being greedy and envious. Vibe, good to see you. I'm taking off. Good luck.
That's you.
Thank you, Dusty. Peace. Whoops, wrong way. Sorry about that, Vibe. Vibe, how about you? Thank you, by the way. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I know it's always weird having a stranger on your panel that you haven't seen before, so I appreciate you taking the trust. And Judge, I like I said, I didn't come here to attack. I came here to explore and expand.
Well, I'll allow it this time, but next time there may be a contempt charge in it for you. So watch that.
Yeah, and now that we know each other, next time I might go harder too. So
there you go. There you go.
I'm all for it.
I have thick skin. I've gotten old enough now where I really don't care what anybody else says, and I'm not going to allow what anybody else says control me. So you can attack me all you want. I'm just going to keep on saying what I think, and I'm going to keep on exploring on whether I'm right or wrong. So
right, and the reason I said what I said is because Slow State can't stay away from the drama slutting to have a conversation about the facts and the truth for very long. That's obvious. We've seen that for years. I think the dynamic works because you would be the staunch capitalist in this back and forth. Jack would be the, characterized as the extreme faith guy. And then I would attempt to try to meet everyone in the middle, right? And it would be kind of an authentic aspect of who we all are.
I mean, given what I saw today, I think, okay. So I've seen Flo's channel. He knows it. He'll admit it. He definitely loves the drama, right? You could have stopped it in a half a second, but you kept it going. So,
well, that's the thing. He loves the drama till he can't stand, right? He loves the drama till he can't stand, and then plays power games and runs and lies. I don't love the drama, but I'm fully equipped to respond and end it in all ways, right? So that's the difference between me and him. And you can see that by our content we create, right? I don't run around picking fights that I can't stand on. I stand on fights that I'm guaranteed to lose. Right. And yet I still come through favorably. So we do something very different in this world, right? Dare I say I try to practice courage for what's true, what's true and what's right. And I try to leave all the extra shit where it's at, right? A lesser modality. But I am more than willing to respond or react at times, maybe more than I should be. Because again, the facts speak for themselves. There's really nothing that needs to be defended.
Yeah, you just got to make sure that when the facts are speaking for themselves, you don't deteriorate from the facts by overreacting.
Right. The facts are, once again, I have more than Slow State on every level. He's jealous and envious of that. He keeps projecting that onto me. He acts like he wants to fight me in real life. When I give him an opportunity to show up in private, he never gets back to me. So I don't know where to go with it at this point, right? I've tried to wish him well. I've tried to co-create with him or around him and focus on the truth and the facts. He's always got to pick at me. And at some point it gets boring, right? Because as a man, we stand on action and what we're actually going to do and create, not on jibber jabber that goes nowhere for years, right? So I would think we could evolve beyond a middle school perspective at this point. He's like the kid who's pulling my hair on the playground because he has a crush on me. I guess I'm the woman in that experience, but I guess it could be two boys as well, right? I don't know. Slow State does wear earrings, so
you might be doing that too, Paul. It's possible.
No, like I said, I get off on some level pointing out the truth he and I know that he won't cop to in public and watching him twist in the wind while trying to act cool, right? I get off on that.
All right.
Well, I mean, and to close my closing statement, I'll do some shameless self-promoting. If you're liked anything you saw today, find me on Vibe on YouTube, Vibe on Kick, Vibe on X. Just take my name, put the platform, and you'll find me there. So, yeah, thank you for allowing me to have a little bit of a platform today, Jack.
Well, thank you for putting that out, because I'm immediately going to turn that over to Snafu to harass you for the next 3 years and report your channel. So
Not a
you'll
problem.
enjoy that.
I can handle it.
Hey, actually, Snafu has been in the back. He said he has questions for you, Vibe.
Thank
I
you,
don't
Jack,
know.
for
Please
allowing
be
others
polite.
to be part of the conversation. Just keeping
It's-
it backstage.
Well,
Vibe.
It's
wrap
funny.
it
I've
up.
had a lot of people chasing me
Now,
lately.
I
where they
got
jump on
questions
bandwagons.
for this cupcake vibe.
Be
Um,
polite.
you're Jack. Just because you may not like the questions, it doesn't mean they're valid. So, vibe, you're a Daddy Trump guy, right?
Not totally.
No, it's not. So you voted for him.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Are you vaccinated?
No.
Okay. Do you believe in censoring your channel for monetization? Is that what you're going for on YouTube? What is the goal of your objectives? Because you're a host state guy, and host state, he's kind of daddy has him, locked down. You're new to the thing. This is your new
Snafu,
daddy, by the way, Vibe.
Snafu, let's be clear. This is a guy who voted for Trump and believes in the system. He's not that bright, and he doesn't realize slow state's grift is to align with the corporatist folks, knowing they have the most money, thinking that he'll be a voice for the voiceless on YouTube, and they'll contribute to his platform because he's someone who supports corporatism. But the reality of slow state is he doesn't live what he speaks. He's a lazy bum. We know that based on the person who came online that hired him. He couldn't even put up drywall, went and sat out and then tried to get paid, sat on the sidelines. He's beyond pathetic. So he can talk about free market, free trade, capitalism, corporatism. He's a bum who stays up all night, sleeps all day, has nothing of his own that he's created, couldn't run a business if his life depended on it, because it does and he can't. And we have the firsthand knowledge of all that. So he should be, if he was living his, if he was, no, this is just the facts. This is just the facts, right? If he was honest with himself and others, he would be in Jack's camp of radical, benevolent socialism, because then he could sleep all day and stay up all night and have the system hand him a living, because he hasn't created anything that's ever been successful, unlike Paul and Slave.
I think vibe. Let's see how much CEO, because you said the CEO talk is what got you with Jack. Because I know Jack's perspective of where he wants to get into the wars and legal secrets within Senate, Congress, government. I tell Jack all the time, there's things we could do, but it's like you said, it's not that simple. Let me ask you this: do you know what Pogo is? Because you were just advocating for CEOs.
Drop it in the back by chance, and I'll drop it in the.
Do you know what Pogo is, Vibe?
Fogo?
Pogo.
Snafu's favorite sexual position.
Yeah.
I know of a place that does boba.
So do you know what privately owned, government operated is? Such as companies like the WWE or other companies. So you think that these CEOs in these companies, which are like Flow State, only about the money?
Because someone in chat said, Snafu, please. I know Slow State's still listening. I want to. I'm engaging in a lesser modality now because he got the beast out of me. Someone
that's what I came here, Daddy.
Someone in chat is saying maybe some handsome hunk like Flo gave Paul a swirly when he was a kid or something. No, Slow State was the type of kid who I would get to come where all the black gang members were so we could rob him and split up the profits.
I wanted to know.
Was I being too honest and too straightforward and too sorry about that? Sorry about that.
Vibe, you said you're part of Flow State's community, and honestly, I've never seen him do anything of journalistic value other than Drama Channel.
Oh my God!
No, I can't. No, Jack. I can honestly say I've seen Jack do more than Flo when it comes to journalistic value. Hey, I'm being real, Jack. I'm even cupcaking.
We were shutting down. I'm not sure.
I just wanted to know if he was vaxxed or not. That was my question for this dude.
Okay, thank you. We already
went over that.
Thank you for joining.
No, hey, I mean, Snafu, just so you know, hey, I'll jump up with you and answer your questions. I didn't really come on here or onto YouTube to be monetized or actually be right. I really just enjoyed watching everybody and wanted to join in the conversation. That's the end. I didn't come in to be personally attacked, but if you're going to, that's fine. Like I said, I've got thick skin. Actually, I don't even need thick skin because I don't even care. I have my life. I have my wife. I have my kids. I'm very happy with them. I enjoy engaging. I enjoy being right. I enjoy being wrong. And I enjoy discovering new things. So whatever you want to talk about, I'm always open.
Respect. Thank you for joining, Vibe. I am ready to start wrapping up. Anything else for you?
No, thank you. It's been fun.
All right. Bless you, brother. Appreciate sincerely you joining. And Paul, this was a treat. The timing was wonderful, and I really did appreciate your support tonight. Thank you.
All right, here's my new thing that I'm setting because I wasn't supposed to come over here. I don't know why, because I love you, brother, on some level. But I'm an avoidant, Jack. You know that, right? Like the way that I experience love or express that, because you always like to talk about love. The way I experience that, receive that, or express that is probably not normal, in quotes, presuming we have any of that here, but it's definitely not me. But yeah, don't take that as an opportunity to come over to my area. My area is a complete shit show, insane asylum at this point still, but it only houses me, right? And that's the way I kind of like it. But I will return at some points when I'm listening in and when I think I have something to contribute. And when I believe, most importantly, I can contribute without getting in my own way or getting in your way.
I appreciate that. And I think I've noticed our paths are what they are, and you've maintained a distance, and I've seen the respect too. So thank you, Paul. And when the opportunity comes back up, let's see what happens.
Try to use me as much as possible as being here for the truth if you can, or just leave me alone, because it seems I'm not always there as much as I should be or could be for myself. And I'm sure that goes for others as well. So use me for what I can be used for, and then don't have too much hope for the rest. If I get better, well, then that's a great. If not, then there's less suffering, right? All right, Jack, we'll see you later, man.
All right. Peace and thank you. And he's been in the back. I said no more, but how are we going to do? Tommy?
Oh, I didn't come up here for you or your little loop show. I just came up at the wishes of my good friend DJM. You got a good friend like DJM, Jack?
I might. Not the same.
You do. I don't think you do. Compared to my show I put on, I'm quite grateful and thankful for all my friends, and they are more bountiful than this YouTube would ever know. Maybe too many than a Sigma like me would like, but they're only around because they're quality. And I watched you boys not only contradict your claims you made against me on this very same show, but I swear I've warped back to season 1. And you're right, Jack. I will not be back, and I do not like you.
All right. Fair enough. Well, thank you for returning to let us know. I'm trying to shut down. What's going on, Snafu?
Well, I think it was an interesting conversation, but I think you needed to let others be part of it. There were people backstage that you just kept back there, because I was backstage talking to people, and you weren't letting it, because there were points like that I would have liked to talk to on an intellectual concept of what was going on, but because of your not wanting to whatever, and there was other people, just so you know, I don't know if you were paying attention, but there was at least 2 other people in your backstage that said, I'm not going to stay here. And then I think they just wanted to add to the conversation, you know? So I'm just saying, other than that, good night. And yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that feedback. And yes, I realized there were people in the back that wanted to get in the conversation, but I was up here on the panel wanting to get in the conversation for a bit too. But, you know, it's just the way it is. I actually had fun tonight. I do want to thank all of our guests. Vibe, first time meeting him, and the return of others. Paul, we haven't seen him in a while. And I mean, really, you know, leave it to this Jack Talcott guy in this channel. I don't plan this stuff, but you got to face it, man. Me, Powder Dusty, Paul Unslaved, Tommy, Snafu, all in the same group, man. Not necessarily at the same time, but holy cows, man. What an amazing adventure we've had. This life, brothers and sisters, today's another day. The topic originally was time and energy conservation. I felt, you know what? I feel good right now. I conserved my energy earlier. And amen. The time just kind of flows. But this simple reminder as we part ways, a reminder in the background, delight in the Lord. Delight in your life, in the day, in the awe, in the curiosity, in everything you can. Spend less time blaming, more time on improving, more time on growing, and honestly, more time on loving. I'm going to wrap it up there. Sincerely, please return again. If you've not subscribed yet, please do. Tell others, and we'll see what the future brings. Till next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. Thank you again. God bless us all.